Oh. The drama is not who gets the bat. The drama is everyone's reactions to it and what happens next.
I know.
Like, I could give a shit who gets batted to death. There's some people I would be like more eyebrows raised than others, and more that I would miss than others. But that's not the fucking point, man.
And they're doing the exact same thing, the exact same mistake, and the reason these cliffhangers don't work on the back end when you come back to them, like with Glenn under the dumpster. That moment was supposed to be, oh, fuck, how is he going to get out of this scenario where he's under the dumpster, right?
Yes.
Not, did he survive this?
Yes.
Is Glenn dead? That was not the question we should be asking. So, you come back from this in Season 7, right?
Yeah.
Where is the tension? Like, where is the emotional impact of seeing who you lost? Because the emotional impact should have been front-loaded. No, should have been the complete package.
And I'm telling you, it's if you're a diehard fan, and you listen to podcasts and you read the fan sites and you're on the forums, you're going to have this moment spoiled for you, and it's going to suck. Yeah. And it's going to have zero emotional impact when it finally happens.
Yeah. That's the thing.
So if you're a hardcore fan, stop being a hardcore fan. Stop watching, listen to podcasts.
Right. Tune out from all their media.
Yep, that's the only way you're going to save yourself from their bullshit tactics.
Yeah,
and that's the opposite of what you want to do.
And even then, you've had a 6 month come down from the tension of the moment where you're worried about him killing someone.
I mean,
and now it's like, well, I wonder who he killed.
You beat Michonne's brains out, you beat Glenn's brains out, you beat Maggie's brains out, you beat Daryl's brains out, and Reddit's front page on The Walking Dead is full of, oh my god, my face win. I can't believe I'm terrified.
Which is like another hell in its own.
You know, like my tribute to Norman Reed or whatever. I mean, like, but now it's full of, I can't believe this shit. I'm so like Ames, you know, this is, and there's someone remixed the, like, you know, Negan leaning in front of Carl's face and like, you know, oh, you think it's bullshit that we're not going to show you who we killed this season? Well, too bad. And like, you're casting the showrunners as the villains of the show. It's a really weird relationship to have with your fans. I don't get it. And also,
to me, no one is talking about best season finale of Walking Dead ever, right? It's all a question, who did they kill? And maybe that's better for getting people talking, but personally, if I were writing the show, I would want the hype of they just fucking went for it.
Yeah.
And blew our minds with who they killed.
And all this preemptive, oh, this is the best episode ever, is just such a bunch of bullshit. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't agree with that opinion, but I don't know who's saying that. I guess we do have a couple
Gimple
of emails,
and like a lot of them went on record saying that this is the best finale. This is the best episode we've done in 6 seasons.
Yeah, well, like we said, what are they going to say?
Nothing.
Right.
I kind of wonder. For the first time, I've wondered like how much the Gimple and Nicotero's hand and Kirkman's hands are tied by the AMC executives saying, we need you to push this to next season.
Yeah, or I don't know. Like I said earlier, I think the marketing team is doing exactly what AMC wants them to do.
I think it's a mistake,
even if it's a mistake.
All right. Well, I didn't want to talk much more because I feel like I'm going to carol and reread my notes during a lot of this feedback. So I'm gonna try to resist that urge. But that's one final thing is, I think if you guys have listened to this half podcast years, like I've made a lot of difficult like I've walked back a lot of my criticism of Kirkman. I kind of talked myself into thinking that he sort of expertly handled this situation with who he's going to kill and like all the misinformation he put out and like stuff that I thought was callous towards fans. But like now I feel stupid because maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But if the studio's going to handcuff you and make you do this shit, it doesn't matter because there's no good way to handle this because now the story's out of your hands and it's into the people. They're going to leak. It's into people releasing casting news. If Norman Reedus signs up for a big movie or a big well, you know he's dead. You know?
Sure,
Stephen Young signs up for a new HBO series and you know he like it's crazy.
Yep. Bad move, writers. So we've got a sponsor to talk about this week, and it's one that you're probably familiar with. It's Harry's. Harry's is a product that I have used for years now.
To make you less hairy, ironically.
Yeah, ironically. But I've really liked using their products a lot. It's brought the cost of my shaving down significantly. Their razors are a lot cheaper than you would buy at a store. And when I say cheaper, I don't mean cheaper. The quality is just as good. I mean less expensive.
Plus, other brands, it's like shaving with a baseball bat covered in barbed wire. Sure, you could take that like a champ, but why would you?
Yeah, there's a better option.
Yeah.
It's harrys.com, and right now they've got a promotion going where you can save $5 off your first purchase if you go to their website, harrys.com, and use the promo code BALDMOVE, all caps, one word. They have a starter set called the Truman, which is good, which is what I started with. It's actually a really good deal. It's for $15. You get the razor handle, you get the shave cream, and 3 of the 5 blade razor heads. So, I mean, you could probably go to the store and spend $15 on the 3 razor heads alone if you were buying that other stuff. So go to harrys.com, use the promo code BALDMOVE.
Makes great gift. Father's Day is just 2 months away.
Oh, is it?
If you got an inscrutable elder god like my father that you just never know what to buy for, and he's got a clean-shaven race.
I thought maybe elder gods had, like, stubble or something.
No, the tentacles. It just grows in thick, and I just said race instead of face because, I'm going with fish breed. I don't know.
I don't know where you're going.
Yet again, lost myself in the metaphor.
You, listeners, should go to harrys.com, use that promo code, BALDMOVE. Okay, are we ready for feedback?
Yeah, we keep in mind we will have another episode next week, another a season in review wrap up. So if we didn't get your email,
right, that's the thing. I got deluged with email,
or if you've got a fresh hot take. I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of outrage and whatnot. But if you got a fresh hot take, it's not too late to get it in. WatchingDead@baldmove.com or on the forums.baldmove.com if you just want to.
Right, and if I don't include your email on this week's episode, there's a chance I might still include it on next week's, because honestly, I didn't even get a chance to read all of the email this week. There was so much of it.
Dude, I saw the inbox. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and these types of episodes, like, tend to do it. There was 8,000 replies on the post-show discussion thread on Reddit.
Holy shit.
So there's a lot of people wanting to talk about this bullshit.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it. We start off with Happy Scott. Happy Scott? Is he still happy after this?
Not so happy now.
Let's find out. I'm on my way to California for the week, listening to the cast on an airplane. Just stoked about the season finale. I've been fascinated about how The Walking Dead will handle it. Then I hear the spoiler section about the fade to black cliffhanger. I don't mind spoilers. I mind shitty writing and bad ideas. Mm-hmm. Now I'm pissed off, and I'm going to have to spend the entire work week and weekend hoping the spoiler isn't the real ending and hoping The Walking Dead is somehow outsmarting everyone. In the future, you guys should add another level of disclaimer, one for standard spoilers and another for spoiling really bad, stupid crap ideas that no fan would ever want to spend 6.5 days contemplating.
And then what's worse is, in the middle of the flight, some Asian lady came over and just slammed his window shut.
Right. And a guy took a wicked shit in the bathroom. Heather also mentioned this. She was actually a little disappointed that we didn't
have an extra
have like an extra super secret spoiler section for the really big spoilers. It's something we have done in the past occasionally when we have like full synopsis for like just like an outline for the episode. It's
something to keep in mind for next time, I guess, because honestly I kind of would have opted out of knowing that.
I sympathize with her, and I guess I would like to apologize for putting such a big spoiler up front, but at the same time, you're in the fucking spoiler section, so I don't feel that bad.
Yeah, no.
But I get what you're saying, Heather.
We'll take it under advisement, because, like I said, if Jim had said, "Okay, I got something that might ruin your enjoyment of next week," I might have been like, "Don't tell me." But I'm glad he did.
Robert Kirkman is writing it.
I'm glad. I'm actually like if I do Captain Hindsight, I'm glad you told me, because I don't even know how it would have gotten through this podcast.
Right.
I was allowed to learn to stop worrying and love The Walking Dead.
Love the bat. Okay, Miranda R. says, I had a thought about why walkers and people are able to sneak up on these characters. And this is something we've talked about, but I feel it's been renewed in Daryl getting snuck up on by Dwight.
Okay.
She says, it is highly probable that our main characters all have hearing loss due to the continuous firing of guns. Gunfire is extremely harmful to unprotected ears, especially in close quarter spaces such as a tank or a prison. And that's maybe also why they seem to talk so loudly in the woods and not be aware of how loud they're being. So my question for you guys is, do you think this is the reason the show can get away with so many of the moaning and clumsy walkers sneaking up on people, and also how characters like Dwight are able to sneak up on even the most skilled members of our group? So that is a possibility, but there's one reason I don't think they're going with that, because if that were the case and these characters had hearing damage, there would be a lot more of, huh? What'd you say? Like going on in conversations.
That would be hilarious if they did do that, though.
It would be pretty realistic, but
totally. Rick shooting at 357 and the tank. Was it that, or is it the soldier's sidearm in the tank?
It was something in the tank.
Anyway, he shoots that, and then like all the concrete tunnels and
shotguns going off near your head.
Yeah, he'd be like midlife Beethoven at this point.
Yeah. Nick says, when I saw the flashback this episode, when I saw the flashback with Morgan episode, Here's Not Here, I thought it was one of, if not the most important episodes for the story arc of the entire season. Plagued by horrendous timing within the season, not enough clarification, and Morgan failing to pass his message along, the spirit of the episode was easily lost, but they hit on something very, very important. Human beings were not made to kill other human beings. It takes a terrible toll on people emotionally and makes them do horrible things. We've seen this time and time again on the series, with our group being able to pull through and find their better side. Many of the characters on the show have probably suffered PTSD or a serious mental issue at some point or another. Some in the series have learned to cope with the apocalypse better than others. Groups like the Wolves, Terminus, or even the Saviors have gone over the edge and let the violence consume them, becoming the antithesis of our group and forming unsustainable human civilization. This is why I think Morgan's story arc matters. The group must find some way to keep their own people sane and expand that to outsiders if they're going to bring new people into Alexandria. I'm not advocating them to perform Zumba and play in drum circles, but they need to do something. Going over the edge has been a recurring theme on the show, and it seems like something which could shape post-apocalyptic civilization for further seasons. I don't know how much we can talk about this, but with what we've seen of Negan's group not wanting to kill our group, Alexandrians, how does this play into what you think we might know about Negan's group? Like this idea, because I think he's assuming here that the Saviors are bad people and they've gone over the edge, but in my opinion, they're responding to Rick's actions.
Well, then that's a little bit hard for me to swallow, like the fact that they're so careful with Rick's life, they're only going to kill one of them.
Right.
When you see the library was decimated, well, not decimated, it was destroyed because one guy shot at him. That doesn't seem internally consistent, and my big argument with this, the gentleman writing us, is that literally once a season we get an email saying the same thing.
I know, yeah.
And I'm like, so yeah, it's like, is it that important if we've dealt with it in arguably, like, we're on season 6, so in real Showtime that's like season 14 because of all the half seasons and all that crap. Is it really necessary to keep making that? Or if you want to make a serious point about PTSD, then and maybe they're finally doing it with Carol, like someone that's like, when Rick's had his rage outs and it's always been kind of cool and Rick's being a badass. Like if you want to make a legit point about people being traumatized or how to avoid being traumatized, you can do that. But I don't think the way the show's doing it, it's like it's almost like the way they're using it now. It's like a cloak. Like, I can excuse any weird character things because these people are all traumatized and it's PTSD and they're all having psychotic breaks and who knows. But that starts to sound like, when you don't take it seriously, like excuses for lazy storytelling.
Okay.
Like anything can happen because it's the zombie apocalypse. Any strange behavior, any out of character behavior, anything that would, like, I don't think Rick would act that way could be excused as, well, he's traumatized. Mm-hmm. That might be true. But like I always say, I don't watch drama for super realistic depictions. I watch it for entertainment value.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's also interesting to me the idea that Negan can kind of control people that are kind of nasty. I mean, what we've seen of the Saviors, they're pretty nasty people.
Yeah, that's like how does a warlord rule a bunch of people who are kind of savage warlords in their own right? Like,
right.
You got a baseball bat, great. It could be. I mean, there is some interesting sociological explanations. Like, you're willing to kill people brutally, and most people aren't. Like,
sure.
Even big tough dudes have a hard time just like beating someone's head to pulp. Like, if you're willing to do that, and inspire that necessary fear.
This is a problem I've always had with the Klingon ethos and the Klingon politics. Is
kill your way to the top.
If you kill your way to the top, you're going to be dead once you get to the top immediately.
It's the Sith, right?
Sure.
You have an inevitable yet sudden betrayal.
Yeah.
But that's real. Like that's like if you're in a any kind of crime syndicate,
right?
Like I know that's a trope on TV, but I feel like that's kind of how things really work.
I guess that organization might be able to proliferate, but there's going to be a lot of lot of turnover in that
high turnover rate.
Yeah.
And I don't think like the thing that is dramatized in the TV shows, it's usually not people dying; it's usually people getting arrested,
right,
and taken out that way. But yeah, there's got to be, I don't know. It's a dog eat dog world out there. All that's left is cats.
I just wonder how Negan keeps it all under control, but we might find out next season. Natasha from the Unspoiled podcast says, in last episode, Aaron is wondering aloud, why do they do this? I think she's talking about the cliffhanger from this episode. She says, I think I can tell you why. This is a show that doesn't care about legacy, about telling a real story, about longevity, or a sustainable plot. This is a show that gets its lifeblood from the ups and downs of Twitter reactions and Facebook comments and the masturbatory idiocy of a follow-up show about itself that airs right afterward.
What are we?
Well, we're not talking about ourselves. We're not talking about our own show. Like, if we came on and did an after show for the Watching Dead podcast, I think we would fall into that.
We're the guys jerking off, watching the other guys jerk off, I guess.
Yeah, which is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, that's something humans engage in. We have PTSD. We're traumatized by watching the show for 6 seasons. Get off our back.
She goes on, they don't care if you believe that Daryl is dead. They care that you tweet about the fact that you don't believe it. They want to ride the wave of free publicity and pop culture pulse, because keeping the show at the forefront of conversation, whether that conversation is good or bad, is what they rely on. There's a certain amount of ingenious manipulation with the way it's written. Keep the amazing episodes just frequent enough that people keep watching, but don't bother putting that much effort into the plot because they need that energy to jerk off on social media or something. Basically, it's just like Jeff Winger said on Community. The funny thing about being smart is that you can get through most of life without ever having to do any hard work.
Yeah.
They're letting their fans do all the work for them. So... And then she goes on to say she decided she's quitting her Walking Dead podcast.
Wow.
She posted it on Facebook the other day. So
I will be, because that's the thing. Like I'm making a point to listen to a lot of Walking Dead casts this week.
Okay.
Because I know I've got pretty reliable barometer on who is kind of the kinder, gentler ones, who are the go for the throat casts, and I kind of wondered if this would be the breaking point for some of them. But
apparently it was for
Natasha. I can totally understand. Alan Sepinwall gleefully noped out of it this week.
Yeah. But that's an interesting point to raise. Like, the old slogan, no publicity is bad publicity. Can that be true if you get your audience talking about your show one way or another?
Well, it's interesting because I feel like that no publicity good is there's no such thing as bad publicity is only true if you skillfully react to the bad publicity.
Okay.
And use that to change the conversation to something you honestly want to talk about. If you're just getting bad publicity all the time, that's not good. And I guess where I would disagree with Natasha here is when she says it's a genius move, because I feel like it's ultimately, yes, people like reacting about Daryl getting killed or Glenn getting killed or whatever, but reacting, there's nothing to react here. Someone died. Who?
Right.
That's not that interesting a question. Which makes me think that I think the marketing people really don't know what they're doing. They think they know what they're doing, and they're blindly going after that, but they don't understand. They really don't understand the fan base and what makes them tick. Or at least the hardcore.
Or they do. I mean, they lean into the shipper stuff. They lean into a lot of that, the stuff that makes these kind of shows tick. These, I don't know, soap opera light shows.
Yeah.
Where they're just doing the same thing over and over again and shocking you for the sake of shocking you. And
so there's this like kind of pseudo-intellectual football guy, Greg Easterbrook, that used to do a Tuesday morning quarterback column. And when he was discussing like the scandal du jour with the NFL, and there's been a lot of late, he'd always say the thing that the NFL doesn't realize is that there's no immutable law that you always have to be popular. Like, you have to kind of prune your bushes if you I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this metaphor.
Okay.
You have to steer your ship in a certain direction if you want to maintain relevancy in the pop culture.
It's not just going to happen.
It's not just like you are not on the goddamn Titanic, and even if you were, look what happened to that. Okay. I think I don't. Again, I'm swinging. I'm swinging for the metaphorical fences here. What I'm saying is,
what is his point?
His point is like, just because you're popular today and you're this juggernaut that's making billions and billions of dollars of millions and millions of people in the most popular sport on the planet,
right?
Doesn't mean tomorrow, if you continue to let this bullshit happen, that you will be. And I feel like that's the Walking Dead in a nutshell. They think because they're the hottest thing on Sunday night with tens of millions of people watching them, that it will always be that way. Not how are people going to eat our lunch?
Yeah.
And if we do this Pavlovian reaction to our fan base, when do they stop salivating when we ring the bell? And then when that happens, what do? Like, if you're relying on tricks and no substance, you have to have enough substance to bring people back, because the tricks, people get burnt out on that. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I would much rather watch a show with solid storytelling than gimmicks that try to keep me coming back next week to find out what happened next.
And now they're like, it feels like the gimmicks are now like one step even removed, where it's not jerking us around to who's going to die and all that stuff, but literally jerking us around on who's going to die.
Okay.
You know, it's not Beth's dead and oh my God, what's there going to... It's who fucking died. I don't even know. Yeah. That's bad storytelling.
All right, well, Dan from Philly, I think, is going to agree with you. He says, what probably... that was probably the series finale for me. When you take something that should make your heart ache and turn it into a Who Shot JR piece of garbage, then the show becomes the epitome of bad 80s melodrama.
Yeah.
I could write paragraphs detailing what I think sucked about the season, but it's all been done to death. Even from a business standpoint, this ending makes no financial sense. The only reason to buy the Blu-ray of a horrible season would be for that closure of a knockout ending, but they managed to screw that up too. Typical. He has another question, but I wanted to address this point first of all. So... that's interesting, because obviously you remember Who Shot JR. Mm-hmm. That was a big thing that got everybody talking, good or bad. Like, that created a buzz, right?
But it's also a shark jumping moment,
right? So this is before my time. Did that kill the show? Is that a thing that like people noped out on?
Probably no. That was like represented the peak, because I know that whole plot line got walked back because it was all a dream sequence, and then it well and truly jumped the shark. But yeah, like that's not. I don't think Dallas trajectory is where you want to be on.
Okay,
that'd be like saying, like this is the X-Files movie moment.
Yeah,
that means you're at the precipice of a cliff that you're about to fall off. I don't. Yeah, or like late season Lost, where let's find out about the origin of Jack's tattoos. Like,
well, there was so much in Lost that did keep me coming back, and I don't know if I've just moved beyond that or if there was something different about it. But like when Benjamin Linus is introduced, you're like, oh, who is this guy? Where's he from? And there was so many cliffhangers around him and the others. And
sure, but I'm trying to think the fundamental difference between like the Hatch. The Hatch came at the end of season 1, which had been a stellar season, and that was a really interesting episode. And it was opening up a door for a new mystery. Like, where is this going to go next season?
What's in the Hatch?
A main cast member dying in first-person perspective and you don't know who it is not... That's an artificial mystery. It's not... Like, Rick... Yeah, Rick is not wondering, what the hell is this Hatch? Michonne is not wondering, what the hell is this Hatch? Carl is not wondering... Like, someone's brains are leaking out on the ground and everyone knows it but us. But the audience.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Some people, their next email is directly related to this, so I'm going to go to it. Ciara says, just finished the Walking Dead season finale, and I feel cheated. We were led on an emotional roller coaster. The last 5 minutes, my heart was beating so hard, and I had anxiety that I hadn't felt in years watching this show.
Sure.
All to be left on a cliffhanger? Are they serious? Way to piss off everyone. I was almost to the point of tears. Watch 5 minutes of The Talking Dead to hear their silly explanation of, well, we didn't show it because whoever it was, that starts a new story.
What the fuck?
Right. And she goes on, that's crap. And Jay also wrote in with this, and I wanted to give him credit too. But
preposterous.
It would have been way more effective to show the person, the victim, and everyone's reactions than fade to black. And then maybe the saddest line in this entire email. I will be back in October, but holy hell.
Well, that's the one thing, like, talking all this about what they're doing to the fan base, like, we're hitched, because, like, even though I'm coming back from October, I know for a fact there will be a lot of people that this is the final straw.
Right.
So, at what point does, I guess, like, it'd be a sad day if we hang up our shop here before the Walking Dead actually is over. I don't want to do that, but at some point there'll be a combination of both of us being pissed off, lack of interest, and dwindling fan support, and it'll probably happen.
Yeah, if it doesn't, it's almost a shame.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many times you can fuck up like this and just keep me
that's
coming
the thing,
back.
man. These are so easily avoidable. Like this, they were really on the cusp of having something special here at this back season, going into one of the most memorable moments of the show, going into one of the most memorable storylines, some of the most interesting stuff, and they just fuck it up voluntarily. It was right there.
And I don't consider this a spoiler, but if you're super sensitive to comic spoilers, check out for like 30 seconds, because I want to talk about...
I reserve the right to edit this.
how they did this in the comic.
Okay.
In the comic, they just fucking show it.
Yeah.
They don't waste time with this, come back next issue to see who the fuck was killed.
They beat somebody's brains out.
They show you dragging him up, they show you beating him, they show the aftermath, done. And then the comic ends, right?
Yes.
That's how you do it. That leaves people stunned and in shock.
I can vouch that there's not been very many moments where I was shaken. Like Game of Thrones did it to me once, where I had to like put the thing down for a couple weeks and like fuck. But yes, it
makes me wonder like where the blame goes for this, because does Kirkman? I know he likes to remix and he says he made mistakes in the comic and he liked to do things different. Is this one of those moments, or is this a moment where he's like, this worked in the comic, it's iconic, let's do it, and they say no?
I got the impression from The Talking Dead and the demeanor of the gentleman that it felt like they were having to take some, even though that was a puff piece and there wasn't any tough questions, I don't feel like they liked what happened.
Do you think maybe that's because of the aftermath of the Glenn stuff and they were just worried, or was that
they had time
because they
to
really
fix that,
didn't like
because that happened
what
last?
Was going
no,
on?
I feel like if they were given free creative hand, would have just shown it, because whatever you think of Kirkman and Gimple as storytellers, they are storytellers, and you got to know that's a worse way to tell the story. It is entirely to do...
I would hope so.
It's entirely to get... I don't think these people are stupid, and it's entirely to get a reaction out of a fan base. I don't know. Like, I feel a little sorry for him.
Okay.
As sorry as I can feel for rich millionaires.
Well, as sorry as I can feel not knowing who made the calls, not knowing whose decision this was, right? Because it's quite possible that Kirkman was like, yeah, I don't want to do what I did in the comic, and this is much better, much more effective. And everyone was like, I don't know, dude, but okay. I don't know. I don't know where the blame lies here.
I mean, the other thing is, like, so put aside the fact that, like, you're going to get spoiled if you're a hardcore fan, and you're going to have that emotional reaction stolen from you by fucking AMC's marketing department.
Right.
Put aside that, structurally, opening up the next season with someone getting beat to death definitively, the first episode or two has to be an anticlimax. There's nothing. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're expecting people to regroup and like, but now you're kind of like, I guess, looking for. I don't. It just structurally like and there's already been a lot of jokes on the Reddit and on the forums, like, oh, now we're going to go off for 3 episodes and find out about the Horse Lords with Carol and more. And like, if they do that.
Or there's a suggestion in our email section here that they jump back for the Saviors, and we see some of the origin stories of like the Alicia Witt character and like all these characters that have been killed off.
Arc for fucking real.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Is 3 episodes of fucking Governor that we all hated. There's no way they'll do that, right?
I mean, if they do that, like, I guess, like, who's watching to find out who got beat at that point? You're watching despite it. You're watching, you're like, oh God, I'm still interested in this story. I want to find out what happens next. But Jesus, can we just put this behind us?
But this is a pattern with this show. I mean, they did it with Morgan.
This is by far the worst.
With Glenn in the dumpster. They did a 3-episode run where we didn't find a fucking thing out about it.
Yep.
Everyone hated that. Don't do that again. And it seems like that's what they're setting up. Because coming back straight into this scene and just showing who got hit doesn't.
And you can see some asshole social media manager, AMC, saying, "See, I told you, everyone's talking about it."
Right, 60,000 tweets in an hour.
Not knowing that they're burning through goodwill. Like they're just, it's like they're setting money on fire. Look how much money we've got. We can just burn it. Like you earn it back, motherfucker. Let's see you try.
Right. I did want to go back briefly to Dan from Philly's other question. He says, "Hey guys, forgot to mention in my feedback email, what happened to the fucking RPG? One shot at the saviors on the checkpoint and they could have taken out 50 of them. Why would you leave your most powerful weapon that you know can do all kinds of damage at Alexandria with a bunch of people who can't shoot straight to begin with?"
That would have fucked up their plan pretty nicely if you just put an RPG
Surprise
in the middle
RPG.
of those 30 guys.
How could they ever guess that they'd have an RPG?
You just Rick just steps out and he has Abraham behind him. I mean,
I'd have somebody surfing the top of the RV with the RPG ready to go.
But no, that's a fucking unanswerable question. Wow.
Defense,
that's a game breaker.
Like that's all I can think is, you know what, if the shit hits a fan at Alexandria, let's have an RPG backup. Maybe. But yeah, I'm with you. Like those one RPG to those roadblocks and they're done.
And they have multiple rounds with only one launcher, so maybe it is for last-ditch defense.
I guess. But that didn't seem to be part of the plan. One thing we didn't talk about in this episode is they had a fucking plan. Like, Gabriel goes up and he outlines, like, look, we've got escape routes, we've got fallback points.
I started to make that point, but then I got distracted. Yes, I had that. Yes.
So, kudos on that.
Now, but here's the thing. Next episode, or like in next season when Alexander gets overrun and they're all running around at chickens with their heads cut off,
right?
I guarantee we're going to be like, where's your fucking plan, Gabriel? Because you know they're going to forget about that.
Yeah, they might. Let's go to some visual effects stuff, because we've talked about like the episode where the blood splatter kind of hit the camera. We did a little bit of that. Tom from Detroit says, the cliffhanger was a move that you see from a desperate show trying to save itself, and the first-person point of view with blood dripping was the cheapest effect I've ever seen on television, and I used to watch MST3K.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it didn't look good even.
No.
I don't know what they're doing. Their visual effects are not as good as their physical effects. Sorry.
And I don't know why. Well, it's hard to pull off a first-person shot of someone getting their brains beat in.
I guess. I mean, all you got to do is
like they go
make
hardcore,
a convincing blood drop.
I get, yeah, but it's going to look cheesy because that's.
I mean, if
that's not how it looks. Like if you're getting your head beat in, I guarantee that's not what it looks like from your point of view.
Yeah, you get hit in the eyes with blood. You're gonna squint. You're gonna close your eyes. You're not gonna see anything.
I mean, like I said, they really fuck. I mean, and the way they chose to shot it. Like, I don't know if they're going to just show us again from a third-person perspective, like when they finally get around to doing it. Mm-hmm. But, man, I feel like that there was a lot of... I mean, it wasn't just that someone got beat to death that's so sickening. There was a lot to it. Like, that taking it like a champ is a real moment in the fucking comics. And it's just a, like, throw-off line that you might not even hear because they got the echo effect. I mean, it's just... Man, what a
you think they're going to rewind about 2 minutes on this thing?
I have no idea.
Season 7?
I mean,
and show us the scene again, but this time not from the POV.
You're asking me like if I was The Walking Dead, what would I do?
How do you salvage this?
I don't know.
If you're Aaron Hubbard and you're in the writers' room, they say, you know what, Gimple, you're out.
Because
Kirkman,
with
you're
Glenn,
out.
They
Aaron,
didn't really. They're just like he wiggled out from underneath it, and life goes on.
Right.
Which if they do that with this, you've just thrown away one of the best moments in the comics.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd salvage this either. I wouldn't have done it like that in the first place, but that's just me. Okay, Jesse B says, yes, the ending of the finale is awful, but do you think that AMC could do anything further to miss the mark regarding the conclusion in the Season 7 premiere? And we've kind of hinted on this, but I want to talk a little bit more about
it. Are we saying how could we make it worse?
Right. Do you think that the creative team might try to set up Negan's backstory in early episodes of the next season, similar to how they wrote the governor's storyline? We kind of talked about that already. Sorry, got ahead of you there, Jesse. What will your reaction be if no major character died? Of the lineup, Aaron was the character that had the least development and pretty inconsequential to the season as a whole. If it's revealed that he was Negan's victim, do you think that would be a good cop-out? Or do you think that would be a cop-out? Rather?
What if he beats the brains out of Dwight for letting his dick get bit?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess that would be the most farcical, or the taunter. Like he just does something crazy, just beats one of his own men to death. Like the you know.
Yeah, mustache man, whatever.
Because that's like the tropiest thing. You think the big bad's going to kill one of the heroes, and he turns and executes his lieutenant.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I honestly, if it doesn't matter who they kill at this point, it's already done.
It's
for
the
me.
bell,
it's like,
you know, not to sound like Lex fucking Luthor from Batman vs Superman, but the bell has been rung. You can't unring it. Like, and
right.
it's been rung. That's the thing. Like, this stuff is all additive. The thing with Glenn, the thing with Morgan, the thing with now who the fuck knows. It erodes on, like, you can only jerk around a person so much before it's like, drink more Ovaltine, fuck you. Like, we're all Ralphie, and we're all continually disappointed, and, you know, the show is still so effective despite itself, and it's like, it's just, that's what I've been saying for fucking years. It's so easy for them just to stop doing this shit and make a really compelling show. Like, wait till you see the rate, like, social media, man, wait till you see the ratings when you make a good show consistently. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and I think, you know, we haven't talked about one other aspect of this that is undermined is you get people talking right now. You get people speculating, who is it? And you get so much speculation and all the angles are explored. Then you can't surprise anybody because everyone has gone over and over and over for 6 months. Yeah. No one's surprised. No one's shocked. They're like, yep, called that. Oh, Reddit called that 6 months ago. Where were you then, Walking Dead?
Right.
You take not only the emotional punch out of it, but also the surprise of it out by pushing it off for 6 months.
Yeah. And it's possible to be a dedicated fan of a thing that you probably shouldn't be. Like, you know, it's like my relationship with Destiny. You know, like, I'm genuinely excited for new things that are coming, like, but but I'm aware that it's weak sauce. Like, they're bringing back exotics from year 1 to year 2 in lieu of new content, and I'm genuinely excited about that. But I know I can't go to you and be like, oh boy, Destiny is the greatest thing ever, because if I some way got you to play it, you'd be like, this is the same bullshit as last year. I'm out. And I feel like that's where, like, Breaking Bad fans, you got to see this show. People see the show and like, oh shit, you're right. Walking Dead fans are in a position where, like, are you really going to tell your friends, hey man, Walking Dead's better than it's ever been. You got to see it. Because they're going to get to this and be like, what the fuck are you wasting my time with?
You don't even have that, right? You go to your friends and say, oh, who are they going to kill? And they're like, I don't know. I don't watch the show. And you're like, will it be Glenn? Will it be Daryl?
That's what I'm saying.
Will it be Aaron? Like,
it's where it's like,
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I haven't seen the show. Instead of being able to say, they just had the most amazing cliffhanger, or the most amazing season finale.
That's what I was getting at. Just like, I can't be a Destiny evangelist. I can still love it, and I do, but I can't tell my friends it's the greatest thing ever, because I don't even believe it. I like playing it, but, like, I can't really justify it. So do you really want to put your fan base in that position? Bungie? I mean, AMC? I don't know.
So Brett had some comments about, you know, how this is going to get spoiled over the next 6 months with contract renewals and tweets from cast members and shit like that, which we already went over.
It will.
And he's 100% sure it will get out.
And the ones that are most fucking hurt by it are the hardcore fans.
Yeah, I agree. So thanks for that, Brett. I'm going to move on to Brian from Jupiter, Florida. Says, I have a real problem with the show and how it's portraying the saviors. One moment they are completely incompetent and helpless to stop the slaughter from our group, and the next moment they have planned out this elaborate rat maze spanning dozens of square miles, all to scare our group. It's obvious that the saviors are only as competent as the plot needs them to be. Also, how can the saviors know the area well enough to block off all the side roads, but not well enough to know about the Alexandria settlement?
Well, so I have less problem with that, because I think they've done a good job of showing that, like, Negan underestimated Rick, didn't know about Rick, and has spent the last few weeks doing the intelligence. They know exactly where Alexander is. They know what their cars look like. They know who goes in and out and what routes they take. And they've been slowly building this noose around them, while Rick, in contrast, and this is something Glenn said last episode, has been more and more confident.
Right.
Because they've won these early skirmishes. It's like you finally, you kicked the tiger in this ass, and you didn't even know it had teeth, let alone a plan to come up with dealing with it. So now you got the tiger's teeth, and oh shit, it's got claws too. Fuck. The ass sure was easy to kick, though.
Okay, let's go to something completely different here. Michelle
Python.
Michelle from California. So many people are pissed off that the show didn't tell us who was on the receiving end of Lucille tonight, but I'm actually part of the minority on this. In my opinion, if you're writing a really good season ender, you need a cliffhanger. It's the nature of television. If we were shown who was beaten and there was no mystery at the end of the episode, what would be the thing that kept you constantly thinking and talking about the show and eager to come back for next season? If they had shown who Negan killed, it would have left you with a gut punch, feeling pissed off and sad for the loss of a beloved character, understandably so, of course, but there would not be the same level of suspense and anxiety that every good cliffhanger needs. In a show of this caliber, you need a what the fuck moment that leaves your jaw on the floor, not one that leaves you saying, okay, well that happened, what next?
Let
me finish out this email because I know we both disagree with this, but I wanted to get a different perspective on it. Do I think Kirkman and Gimple get this right every time? Fuck no. Do I think they got it right this time? I personally like this episode, even though I was fearful, anxious, trembling, and felt nauseous. The closer we got to the final minutes, Jeffrey Dean Morgan did a really fantastic job in his first appearance as Negan, and the entire cast knocked it out of the park. Baseball bat, pun not intended. So, I know that neither of us agree with this. I don't even know if cliffhangers have that much of a place in season finales. Week to week, it might be okay. Netflix model, I feel like some of that can be okay when I can just click the button and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Or in Netflix case, not even click a button.
Sure.
Just do nothing and move on.
Just do nothing.
I don't think it works in first run TV shows, and especially not at a season finale.
And I just disagree that, I love you, I respect you, Michelle, but I disagree with the thesis that what next is not a cliffhanger. You got Rick on his knees with a vastly superior force that has completely outthought him and outfought him. He won battles, he lost the war. What do they do now?
And I feel like ultimately
they're vassal serfs of this warlord. How do they get out of it? Because the thing is, they don't have the numbers in Alexandria. They don't have the numbers in the Hilltop. What are they going to do? That is an interesting,
that's a scary thing. Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
And here's the thing. I ultimately want to be able to identify and be put in the shoes of these characters, right?
Yes.
This does the opposite. This takes me out because these characters see the death. They see who gets hit.
And
they're
you
reacting
can hear them
to
react,
it.
and they're screaming and crying.
Right. And I'm taken out of it. I'm prevented from being in the scene with the characters because I'm literally pulled out of the action by the camera angle. And by this cliffhanger, and I just don't think it works.
Well, again,
I want to be a character.
You can like this episode. I like this episode too. I just think the last end is horseshit, and it would have been a lot more effective if they had just shown it so we can deal with it and we can talk about these questions like what happens next, which we haven't done. There's a lot of fascinating questions. Right, you can't get back there because we're straddling these two possibilities. You got Schrodinger's main cast member.
Yeah, there's no way to talk about it.
Yeah.
Until we open the season 7 Blu-rays and we figure it out.
Yeah, fuck this. I don't want quantum physics in my Walking Dead, man.
Unless they're really going to go all out.
Sure.
Then I do. Devin from Virginia says, first off, I want to say I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan. Now, to be fair, I've not read the comics, so I don't know how accurate or how well he pulled off the character, but I loved him. He was intimidating, yet oddly compelling and charming. I also love the decision to film the Lucille beatdown scene in first-person POV. It was an effective way to shoot something that would have been far too brutal to air on AMC otherwise. Which, I know. We don't have to jump in and disagree on all this stuff. So.
Well, no, that's the thing. I'm not saying that the point of view is what ruined it. If they're like, look, you cannot.
It's that being the end.
You definitely have. You could do this where Negan points the baseball bat at a person. You go to first person view to see the beatdown, and then you come back and you see maybe from a long angle of this person lying prostrate and their head is ruined, and you can have close ups of everyone's face crying and all the grief and depending on who it is, there's going to be if it's Aaron beat to death. Daryl's going to have a stronger reaction, maybe.
Right.
If it's Michonne beat to death, it's going to be Rick and Carl that are like losing their shit. It's going to be different depending on who it is, right? So I'm not saying like the decision to go first person was not the original sin here. The original sin is not showing us what the fuck is going on and how we can react and just trying to make this artificial mystery. Because again,
right.
Or cut it, right? Cut it as he starts the eeny, meeny, miny, mo and fade to black slowly as he's going out, and then you can fade back in. That's something that it's still stupid, but it's less stupid than this.
Okay. Along the lines of the brutality and not being able to show it on air, he says, you might be able to get away with the head being crushed into a pulp on HBO, but probably not on AMC. I disagree. There's a head crushing in Breaking Bad that is pretty brutal. That's on AMC, originally aired. And in an odd way, I think even though you don't really see the gore, it's almost more visceral because it puts you in the victim's shoes. If by putting you in the victim's shoes, you mean you're dead, you're no longer a viewer, sure. A lot of people seem to have that opinion.
Yeah.
Here's something I do agree with. The sound design was masterfully crafted and legitimately made me uneasy, because I'd imagine that might be what it would actually sound like for yourself as you're dying by a bat to the brain. We didn't talk about this much, but I think the soundtrack in this was pretty good. Both the Foley stuff and the actual like score.
Yeah,
I think it was
he
real
was doing
good.
this kind of what would you call that musical note during the Negan thing?
I forget exactly what it sounded like, but I think it was reminiscent of like running a pick up a guitar string real slowly.
Yeah, it was just kind of it was really creepy,
like,
intense.
Yeah.
And you're right, like a lot of the sound design, a lot of the musical cues. And again, I'm not saying the first person view was bad.
Okay.
It's withholding the info. I mean, obviously if this was on HBO, it could have been just balls to the wall awesome. And HBO wouldn't be fucking with them on this marketing shit neither.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have to do first person for the censors, I question that because again, last season I saw men get beat over the head with a baseball bat and then their throats slit like they were cattle.
Yeah,
and I remember being disturbed.
It was disgusting. Yeah,
and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. American sensibilities are weird. I don't understand it.
They are.
So, but I know people have them, so whatever.
Let me continue with Devin's email. He's actually, I don't know if he quite contradicts himself here, but he says, that being said, fuck this scene. All the pros of this scene's execution are not nearly enough to cover the cons. I'm sick and tired of The Walking Dead pulling this non-committal bullshit. Perhaps I'm overreacting, but I think the decision to not show who was actually killed is just as bad as the Glenn dumpster fiasco, perhaps worse. I just think The Walking Dead I just wish The Walking Dead had the balls to commit to a choice and deal with the consequences. Yeah, so I don't know exactly where you fall on this, Devin, because it seems like you're saying speaking out of both sides of your mouth.
Maybe he's saying the stuff that I could agree with. Like, I don't think that the camera choice and all that was a bad way to do it.
Oh, okay.
He's saying
making the distinction between just not showing the death and the POV.
Do you think that they're so cynical that they're actually monitoring, like they're trying to get social media metrics to find out who the person that they can kill? Like they don't even know in the writer's room who they've killed yet. They're like waiting to see who's the one, like, kill anyone but this, or is there any way that they're monitoring this to carefully craft it? That doesn't make it bad. I'm not saying that's interesting. I'm just saying, like, I wonder how cynical they are about this.
That was definitely suggested by some of our emailers. Like,
really?
Maybe they don't even know who they're killing yet. Maybe they're doing the Villigan thing of writing themselves into a corner and seeing where they come out. I know. Yeah. But the idea of kind of writing to an end you don't have yet.
Sure.
Maybe.
I mean, again, that's not interesting, but I wonder if that's what they're doing. Like, that's a very cynical kind of like choose your own adventure. And I'm not sure which direction they'd come from. Are they like, what's going to have the maximum emotional impact, or who is the one we can kill and get away with?
Right.
But not too popular.
Uh-huh.
Like let the discussion come up in Aaron, who we think's going to die, and Aaron, I guess that would be traumatic because there, but I could live with that. Is that what they're going to triangulate towards, or like anyone but Daryl?
I don't know.
And is it something they can is it something you can use in a negotiation table with a person like Norman Reedus where
hey, we could kill any of you.
Yeah, you want $1 million an episode, but you could just get a baseball bat and die.
Right.
And then you get no paychecks.
Then you get a union among the Walking Dead actors where they all say, fuck you, we want more money. And what are you going to do? Kill us all with a baseball bat? I don't know.
Replace them with Scab. Right. Scab act
just people in bad wigs.
No,
coming back
they did
as
that with
the
Dukes of
characters.
Hazzard, man. They replaced the main, and they just
You're
had
right.
the cousins
They totally
come
did.
in for some reason.
Yeah,
like you just have, you just recast Rick. Why not? They do it with James Bond.
Sure.
I can see these fuckers making those arguments.
You pointed out though that in the story they can't really kill Rick or Carl,
but they can recast them for sure.
They can recast them, maybe so. But they can't kill them because he specifically says, "Look, if anybody squirms or says shit when I beat this person to death, poke out Carl's other eye and feed it to Rick." So implying they're both alive.
Be them. Yeah,
right.
yeah. Yep.
So interesting. You said that during the live watch, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Brian from Maryland says, I have a theory that Dwight actually saved Daryl's life by shooting him in the shoulder. Dwight knows Negan and his group well and probably knows Negan will not make a spectacle like this and then kill someone who is sick or maimed, which might also eliminate Maggie, Carol, or Daryl, which I don't think Carol's in the running here.
No, Carol's not even in the group.
Yeah. The reason Dwight might do this is because Daryl helped him out earlier in the season, and this is payback. What do you think of that? A, how do you think Dwight feels about Daryl? And B, do you think he's trying to protect him? And do you think Negan would kill a maimed or injured person?
It's hard because I got to recuse myself because I know too much about Dwight in universe.
Oh, okay.
And his deal.
All right.
I will say it is kind of interesting to see what was your perception of his character from the last season or last half season versus how he's come back now.
It changed a lot when he came back. I feel a lot more malice and a lot more anger and toward Daryl. So I'm not on board with that suggestion. I don't think that's what he was doing.
If you're a non-comic book fan and would want to meditate on that character change, that could be fruitful.
Okay. Mildly interesting. Shelby S.
Yes, indeed.
Says, why did they bother with the big emotional goodbye and good luck scene with Eugene if they were only going to show him captured in the next scene? It completely invalidated what was otherwise quite a beautiful character moment. How'd you feel about that, with him just coming back?
Yeah, no, you pull out the Eugene, we're not going to see Eugene music anymore, you have him hug it out, and he's literally back the next scene. No, that was stupid, too. But that's a symptom of there's too fucking many people. Like this
in the cast?
These are these butterfly wings flapping in China fucking shit up in Detroit or whatever the analogy is. Like, by doing this Maggie thing and by having all these people outside run around Alexandria, you literally had a situation where the entire main cast is there for the plucking.
Yeah.
And that meant you can't really do things like put him in danger because you then got to plausibly bring him back into it. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things that were structurally wrong, and they had to know it was wrong and had to know it was bad when they're in the writer's room or they're incompetent. And I don't think they're incompetent anymore.
I almost feel like this might have benefited from another episode this season. Like, I don't say that very often. Well, this half season. Because they have been balls to the wall most of this half season.
I think they could have cleaned up a little bit of the moralizing, but...
A small amount? But maybe not a whole episode's worth?
No, the real problem is, like, they got all the main characters outside of Alexandria with no real good reason.
Yeah.
Just so you can all bring them back and put them in the dirt. And,
right.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand it. And, again, Kirkman is better in the comics, and I don't even remember it that much because it's been a long time ago, but Jesus.
Okay. Jerry G says, on Talking Dead, Hardwick announced that they were going to have live Skype calls with viewer reactions.
Oh, yes.
Which would have been amazing. Then, after a spot break,
Technical
he said,
difficulties.
Conveniently, the live feed was down, and they'd have to air pre-taped viewer questions, and Jerry calls bullshit on that.
I thought that was very interesting indeed.
And I also heard reports like Hardwick was seeing Twitter comments as they were doing this, and he tempered his questions to Kirkman a little bit, given the reaction, the visceral negative reaction on Twitter. I don't know if that if that also plays into that, but that is surprising.
It definitely had the conspiracy bells going off in my head, but I will say that just a sheer volume could have legitimately crashed the system.
You're right. It absolutely could have.
But, you know, they wouldn't be in this situation if they hadn't made a bad episode. So
here's the other thing about live call-in shows. They have call screeners.
Yeah.
Like, so unless you're going to fake your way into cursing Hardwick out or cursing Kirkman out on the air.
People do all the time.
You
the
can, but if your call screeners are good, like real good, that shit shouldn't happen. It's harder than you think.
I guess, but like the thing is how many call screeners they have, and let's say that let's say they're getting 100 million calls and 100,000 calls, and 999,000 of them are, I hate this shit. You should die in a fire. If you got 100 screeners, how are you finding that needle in the haystack where a fan's like, oh, I thought that was so expertly done, and I can't wait to see next season, and you know. You're looking for the minority. You're looking for the Michelles in the seas of Aarons, and Jims.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, it legitimately could have crashed with just volume. So I'm not ready to like pull the complete conspiracy cord here.
Mailbag crashed and due to volume. So
I couldn't
overwhelmed
get
our
all.
screener here.
I need a good
let me ask
screener.
You this. So are you saying that screeners is there like a 2-step process where it's like they call and they say, hey, what do you want to talk about? And then they fake transfer you to Hardwick,
right? You get
a
Chris
if you're
going to
go baba-boo, and they let you run for like 30 seconds. Like, oh wait a second, now you're going on. Did they do that?
I don't think so.
Well, then how the hell do you? How you're acting?
The questions you ask, the people's tones, like it's harder to sound convincing about loving an episode than you would think. I have to imagine anyway. I don't know. I've never been a
back in the days before Star 69. I pranked many a business and individual, and I would dispute.
That's true, but they were eager to take your phone call. These people are probably on guard. Like, let's keep the douchebags off the line.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's
the 2-step process. I think would be genius.
That would be get like I don't know who can do a good Chris Hardwick impression. You're live on Talking Dead.
I was going to say, like, get a generic, excited white guy, and have him, you know.
And then, when they go, fuck you,
or
Kirkman,
you just hey, when you hear the beep, you're live on air.
Okay.
And like
do
like
have
that.
Them go off on a tirade.
I don't know. One of my buddy Nick used to call him the Jim Rome show all the time, and there was like this process.
Yeah.
So
I know there's a process. I just don't.
But I don't think it was a 2-step fake out deal. It was just
probably not.
You know.
All right, Cindy M. For the past couple of weeks, everyone has been speculating whether it's Glenn or Daryl that gets Negan's bat. After watching last night's episode, I have a feeling it's neither of these guys. I think it's Aaron. Hear me out. There was literally...
Hey, leave me out of this.
literally no real reason for Aaron to accompany Rick and the rest of them to the hilltop, especially when, 1, all of your best fighters are not there to help defend Alexandria, and 2, you know that another group is actively trying to kill you all. The only way of getting him out of Alexandria was for the writers to reintroduce the I owe it to Maggie bullshit. Number 2, Glenn and Daryl are huge show favorites. People like Glenn, Daryl, Rick, Michonne, Carol will get an on-screen death because they mean so much to the viewers. The writers and the producers only had one goal for this episode, and that was to build suspense that a beloved character dies by the hands of Negan and Lucille. Viewers like Aaron because he essentially saved our group. And 3 is a comic book spoiler that I can't read here. What do you think about that? The kind of the justifications for, you can't kill somebody who's too big, but you do want to kill a beloved character.
No, I'm very...
this suspicious activity of Aaron going with them.
It does seem like he could be the chaff to be easily separated from the wheat.
It seems like it's too easy of a separation. Like,
but also, like,
you're giving me the shit I don't want.
So I did a lot of follow-up research about the dead lesbian trope and or bring out your gays kind of trope, and it is pretty breathtaking. And you know, to the extent that I don't feel like The Walking Dead is aware because of these landmines because they always fucking step in them,
right?
And then like do damage control or not afterwards. But you kill the other openly gay character,
yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, like The Walking Dead didn't have a black guy problem when they killed their first black guy, even though that's a trope. They had the black guy problem after they killed their third black guy in 2 seasons.
Right.
And it gave them 0 character development in the meantime. So I don't know. It is a little suspicious, but you pack an RV full of literally every main cast member save Father. I'm not even going to say Spencer's a main cast member.
Oh, no.
And Enid neither.
No. He's been in, what, 3 episodes total?
Yeah, like it's number speaking lines. But I'm talking about like everybody except for Enid and Father Gabriel is in this fucking RV.
Yep.
What are you going to do? Well, and Morgan and Carol, but...
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't have a final way to get them back in there, too.
You think Michonne's going to have to shave her head? She got a big lock cut off. She's going to have a big hole where a dreadlock should be.
Nah.
Because Denai Guerrera has, shaved head or very short hair.
Yeah, sure. She's not wearing
I could see her being like, you know what? Fuck this wig. Cut off a lock. I'm going bald next season.
It would, because she's super striking.
Yeah.
In her natural configuration.
Right.
But I don't know.
It's gotta be hot too.
It's gotta be. You think of like
wig.
when it's 98 degrees in Georgia and you're wearing this fucking Hulk on your head.
Oh, man. I don't
feel
good about that.
It does. She is but I don't know. She looks more physically imposing, like larger.
With the big hair?
Yeah, the big hair. It's kind of like, when an animal puffs itself out, or you're supposed to stand up and when you're.
Yeah.
I do feel like they would miss a little bit of that.
You're blowfish, Michonne.
Yeah, she's blowfishing it with that hair.
All right. Final email from Vicky. I know you guys don't usually watch Talking Dead, but Gimple said something about writing an epic episode to justify this death to the viewers. And Hardwick said that Chandler Riggs tweeted that he doesn't even know who got the bat. Combining all this with the bullshit ending makes me wonder,
possibly be?
Have they even made a final decision yet? I guess we talked about this. On a scale of 1 to 10 being... on a scale of 1 to being on the receiving end of Lucille, how frightened are you at the prospect of the possibility that the writers not even knowing where they were going with this?
I
think we talked...
Frightened is hard for me to say because, they're capable of anything. They're mad men and women in this writer's room. They're capable of anything.
I mean, frightened to me would suggest that there's a path they could take that would make all of this make sense and be awesome. That path has a fucking roadblock with a chain of walkers down it. That's done. You're not going down that road.
Yeah, and also...
You're going down the, oh my God, they fucked it up again road.
If I want to keep it real and 100... I would say that they kind of crossed that Rubicon with the Glenn situation.
Okay.
I don't know that I will... I was shocked by Denise's death because it was so sudden and I didn't see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't really affect me. I'm like, oh, man, I really liked her. It'd have been interesting to see. And, yeah, her and Tara were cute.
Yeah.
Glenn gets beat to... I guess Maggie would have a visceral reaction just because she's a pregnant woman and... I bought enough into the patriarchy that still means something to me. Daryl, I've been actively campaigning for Daryl to die for 3 seasons now. I think he's the most. If you really want to get the fan base riled up and say anyone can die, then you do Daryl.
Yep. Plus he has a ruined shoulder now.
Yeah, he's that's we talked about this in the live cast, but they treat getting shot in the shoulder, arm, or leg like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's nothing in there. It's
just
a sack of meat.
Bones that if you hit, that's never going to be right again. There's veins and arteries that you just die.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Black Hawk Down. I know what happens when you hit that femoral artery. That's not that kind of show. I guess we're just supposed to that in a world without antibiotics and increasingly few medical technicians that getting shot in the shoulder, arm, or leg is no big deal. But
anything but a heart or head shot, and you're good.
Yeah.
Maybe a gut shot if you don't get immediate attention.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. I think the line, that road has already been hoed and there's no coming back.
It would take a season and a half of really careful storytelling for me to feel emotionally devastated by someone being and I don't know, maybe they could have done it. They did it right this episode. Who knows? But now that they've done this, I don't care. If they're going to hit me this in the first 30 seconds or 3 episodes into it, I don't care. I got 8 months to brace. Well, 5 months to brace myself for it, and I'll know.
You'll know.
I'll know before the damn preseason coverage. What's
You'll know who it is, how it happens. All
sure.
Of it,
yeah.
You'll know the opening shots of season 7. It's all going to be there.
So thanks for that, AMC.
I think that's about it. We don't have any more feedback. Are we doing a spoiler section? I don't have anything to talk about.
I know I had something I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember. And honestly, this is long, and we've got a whole show coming up next week. So if we want to make predictions and hints, I know there were things I wanted to talk about, but if we want to talk about hints and predictions for next season going on, I'd much rather punt it to next week.
Okay.
Let some of this stink blow out of the room. See if we can, like, you know, come back and have an honest conversation about where we go with The Walking Dead.
All right. That'll all happen in a week for sure.
All right.
So, yeah, thanks everybody for listening and sticking with us for a bonanza of an episode here. We will see you next week with a recap of Season 6B. And until then, I'm Jim.
I'm Aaron. See ya.